everyone. Welcome to another live stream, Crypto Tips on YouTube. My name is Heidi.
And I'm Toby.
And we're here to bring you the good news, the bad news, and the ugly news.
But first, we want to thank Johnny O. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Johnny.
Hello from South
Amazing.
Florida to CT, Heidi and Toby and CT Klein. Heidi and Toby Klein. Yeah,
Hello,
thank you so
Johnny.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's
we
amazing.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, so
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Welcome to this another Monday edition of Livestream. I have one cool news source named Mike on Telegram, and he's always giving me really interesting news sources. So thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. You're still great. So that's definitely the interest or where I'm getting this like liquidity black hole concept. It's a really interesting one, and it's definitely going to take some time to understand for those of us who are not yet into the whole profit farming thing that's happening with crypto. It seems like, this whole concept of how to kind of game the DeFi space is going to be the new day trading thing in crypto. Maybe. We'll see. It's always changing.
It's going to be the new ICO phase.
Yeah.
It's going to be part of it. But, I mean, there's always going to be something. So people are like, oh, the Ethereum, the ICO phase is done. It's gone. It's not going to exist anymore. Welcome to DeFi. And this is always going to happen. So when people say, oh, this is it, it's all done.
Yeah.
That means their mind is very closed off.
And it's also where the whole smart contract concepts, how it kind of allows, a little bit more
brain fart.
What's it? Complexity to transactions. And so, you're seeing it being used by enabling token creation or this, DeFi space through lending and things. And once that goes through, it says that all the time, don't worry about it. And so, once DeFi is going to go down, there's going to be a new killer application of blockchain technology. And I really think these smart contract enabled platforms are going to be facilitating that, obviously. But there's always going to be the tried and true, more solid and maybe rigid, like Bitcoin, the way that it's coded. It's not as flexible, and because of this, it's also considered more secure because there's less room for failure, really, with how the code works. But with these smart contract-based platforms like Ethereum, there's more to play with, but there's more risk involved with that as well. So anyway, that's what we're talking about today. So hi, everyone. Hi, Jan. Hi, Johan. Oh my gosh, so many comments. Tracy Stark, why is this getting... I'm going to go ahead and show it because I trust what you say. Tracy's getting frothy. Okay.
G'day,
hi, everyone in the live chat.
Rival,
Great to see you guys
Nona.
here. So we're going to get right into...
Daniela. Good to see you, Jonathan.
We've got an Aussie in there?
Yeah, mate. Cool.
Okay. So let's talk about this DeFi space. And with that, Kyber Network and Synthetics are doing some big things. So this, again, all of these articles that we're covering today, all of them are down below in the video description for you guys who want to check it out, because we don't always have the time to read them off in its entirety to you. But here are the takeaways from this article. It says KNC and SNX, that is Kyber Network Coin, and SNX Synthetics, surged more than 2x in roughly a month. The projects are capitalizing on the DeFi craze. The evolution, speed, and complexity of both platforms is exploding. So apparently, both of these networks are giving out, a lot of updates, and they're trying to ride that wave of attention.
Let me talk about the wave really quick. I think the wave is going to last maybe a little longer than the ICO phase. So the ICO phase, we all know, crashed big time. But
not right away.
Yeah, not right away. There's plenty of room for that space to grow. Like the DeFi space, it just got started. So wait till, Bitcoin passes 20,000. Then you have all the retail investors pouring in because the mainstream news outlets are telling everybody, oh my gosh, look at Bitcoin going to all-time highs and more now. and you're going to see explosions in price. You'll see explosions in the DeFi space like crazy. But you might want to consider, if you are in any of those coins, to take some profit and don't ride that all the way to the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not smart.
Have a plan.
Yes, please.
And make sure
have
it's
a plan.
not a super greedy plan, because it could lead you into just some dark places.
There's gonna be a lot of money to be made and a lot of money lost.
Yeah.
A lot of
and
money lost.
that's another thing too, is like these platforms that are trying to ride the DeFi wave. They're gonna, just maybe slapstick together some smart contract code and just, try to, like a scam.
There's gonna be so
maybe
many
it's
scams.
not exactly a scam, but it could be so poorly done that it might as well be. So the projects who are the last ones standing are going to be the battle-hardened projects. Joshua asks you if you've ever surfed the wedge.
I have surfed the wedge. Surfed it on very big day once.
Wild. If you guys are into surf videos and you haven't checked out the wedge in California, just go on YouTube and
go to
check
Jacuzzi
those
Surfer.
out. Jacuzzi Surfer,
that's our
yeah,
good friend.
exactly.
And
he's got some great footage from the wedge. Insane.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about this because it mentions something that leads me into my next article. It says pretty much how these DeFi pools are organized, how they're trying to get people to try to get that network effect for these DeFi projects are very similar to how cryptocurrency exchanges, they benefit from the network effect. They benefit from real users using their platform, but it's kind of like a catch-22 because more users and more trades and a deeper book begets more liquidity, more traders.
It's a snowball effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what this was talking about is the pool has been created to draw Bitcoin to Curve. Users who do so are eligible to get returns in SNX, REN, CRV, and BAL. The more Bitcoin locked on synthetics, the higher liquidity there is, and the more attractive it becomes for traders. So it's kind of like that feedback loop. So talking a little bit about that like liquidity black hole concept is how pretty much how these DeFi projects are going to be creating a liquidity black hole for themselves and maybe for the detriment of other exchanges and things, is because you're encouraged to lock up your coins in exchange for getting rewarded in a different coin that maybe isn't necessarily as proven or is guaranteed as valuable as something like Bitcoin or Ethereum.
DeFi in itself is not proven.
Well, but I'm just saying, like for example, there's these exchanges like what was it, like Coinbean, and then there's another one, I forget the name off the top of my head. It was like FTX or something. Sorry, it's in here. Let me see real quick if I can find it. Fcoin, that exchange. If you guys remember Fcoin from earlier or from like last year or something, it was an exchange, like it had all of the indications of being a scammy exchange where they're rewarding trader behavior with their coin for providing liquidity on that exchange, but it only really encouraged wash trading and fake trades. But it's one way of trying to bootstrap like the network effect by issuing your coin or token to kind of incentivize activity on your platform. And it could be good, but it could also, like, again, there's always people trying to game the system. And so it's not always necessarily good. And in the long term, you come away with a bad reputation like Fcoin and other exchanges. But so he's talking about this feedback loop of, this is probably way too big for you guys. Let me see if I can get it to fit. Oh, it's not going to fit. Okay. Anyway, you guys can check this out in the link down below in the video description. It's a long thread, and he's talking about, I'll read off the first couple ones. Liquidity black hole theory. There exists a token-based AMM design that threatens to create a liquidity black hole, pulling in assets from everywhere. Centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges. Decentralized exchanges don't hold cryptos. cold storage, etc. I'll break it down. So right off the bat, it's like, okay. First, understand the liquidity can create feedback loops. Again, you have, if you have a lot of liquidity and a lot of activity on an exchange, market makers make more money because they're pretty much arbitrage trading at that point. They're just getting incremental profits off of these trades, market makers. And, the more activity, the better it is, and it just feeds itself. However, upstart exchanges face a chicken or the egg problem where they begin in both low liquidity and trading volumes. Many face a hard time kicking off the feedback loop. Liquidity mining presents a novel mechanism to bootstrap network effects. And he links to an article here that, again, is in the video description for you guys to read about. I have linked it as well. But he says, in short, liquidity mining incentivizes liquidity provisioning through token rewards. This allows liquidity to flourish and attract greater trading volumes. So again, they're just trying to kind of lure people in by offering rewards in the form of their token. And when you apply that concept to DeFi, where it's a lending platform and you have to put up collateral, you are incentivized to lock up coins that could have been maybe traded on other exchanges. And again, they're locked up on these DeFi platforms. And it says, let's see. Now consider an AMM where the central asset in liquidity pools is a native network token. For example, Ethereum is the central asset for all Uniswap markets. Imagine if Uniswap launched its own network token and this replaced Ethereum. This is the model used by Bancor and Thorchain.org and Thorchain. So pretty much saying, what if Ethereum was taken out of the picture? Because a lot of people are speculating why there's all this hype on DeFi, but it's not necessarily translating to the price of Ethereum. This could be why, because they're kind of cutting out Ethereum as a middleman. But the risk there is that you're trying to reward people in a token that, isn't as widely used or traded or accepted. And it's very specific for that token or for that platform. And then at the very end of this, he's okay. So he's pretty much shilling Bancor and Thor. But at the end of this, he does say, now, of course, the reflexivity could always reverse in the other direction. But the goal is that the liquidity black hole creates pools that act as impenetrable liquidity moats. So that's another interesting concept, is it could also reverse, and it probably would reverse quite quickly, like taking the elevator down.
Big time. We've seen it happen before.
Let's see here. Wow, got people from Poland, people from Romania, Holland. Hey, everyone. Canada. Oh. A5. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, A5.
A5 Toa. And
nice.
Thank you for the meme. That's a little
awesome.
gif. That's cute. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
That's Heidi in the morning.
Yeah.
Pump in some iron.
Yeah, that's how I wake up in the morning. So yeah, you guys, just so you know, we do now have
Decentralized. Greens
super
from
chat.
Holland.
Yeah.
Andre, welcome from Romania. Jeez.
Yeah.
Dracula, Braun
Romania.
Castle. I've
Toby's
been there.
He's awesome.
That's beautiful.
He came upon what could only be described as a horse fest. Yes.
I just had a bunch of horses all of a sudden,
Toby,
walking around.
The
man.
way
Like,
Toby,
horse fest.
Toby tends to travel, just like in life, on the road less traveled. So he was like, walking around. This was before we met, but he has this video of him walking through these like beautiful fields, and then he comes over this crest, and it's like hundreds of horses and crates and stuff. And he's like, it looks like some sort of horse fest. So
it's more funny when you play the
maybe
video.
you can enlighten us a little bit in the comments if you can. Do you remember what time of year it was? Maybe it's like a festival or something.
I don't.
You don't? Okay, it was a long time ago.
It was when silver was at... No, it was when silver was at $42. I remember that. because I was trading that. There was a range where I was trading, like, so I'd literally trade from my iPod, like little cheap iPod, and I was trading. I'd find a little internet access, and I would just go on like E-Trade back then, and yeah, that's what I was doing back then.
That's how you're funding your travels.
Too easy because the CME was like manipulating the price of silver. I knew exactly what they were gonna do, like every day. It was the same thing,
like clockwork.
You buy right before it closes, and then you sell the second it opens, and then I did that for like a month or two straight.
Nice.
And like maybe it was like 80% right, 90% right.
You found yourself just going to Romania to check it out.
Yeah, it was great. So anyways.
Okay, so next up, as always, I have to give you guys some heads up on scams going on. And apparently there has been a Bitcoin scammer impersonating Joe Rogan. As popular as he is, some people really believed in him. And I think Whale Alert on Twitter was saying that, like, you know, people were sending that wallet 1 Bitcoin, like $10,000. I think that happened like a few times. So it's really unfortunate, and they happen. Like Elon Musk is always one too. That's like a fake account on YouTube. They have these like 24-hour live channels for these Bitcoin or Ethereum giveaways, and it's never real, guys. It's always a scam, and nothing is too good to be true. Everything is too good to be true for that.
Well, on Twitter, I think it's like we're trying to get verified, or at least Heidi is.
And
just
Instagram.
The only reason we want to do that is because there's so many scammers, and like the ICO phase, there was like every day you had 10 different Heidis on for, you know. So I mean, this next run is going to be ridiculous. We won't even be able to keep up. Like,
so it's true for my account. All of my links for my social medias and how you can contact me is found in the video descriptions. Like on these where you hear me talking and telling you to go here is verified. That is the legitimate way to contact me. Always, for any YouTuber or Twitter personality that you think you're talking to, verify their legitimate forms of communication.
And Heidi doesn't give away like Bitcoin or whatever because.
And I don't work with a team.
She's not desperate.
I'm not working with a team of wealth builders, or I don't have a trading bot that, you know, is super secret sauce or anything like that.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a video in itself, talking about how people want to make it seem like it's too hard for you to figure out, so you need to trust them to do it for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the antithesis of this channel and of my Patreon account, is dedicated to showing you guys, you know, what it's all about. It is understandable. I didn't go to college for, you know, computer science or cryptography or anything, but over time I've learned it. And anyway, just know that you have it in you, guys. Especially if you're passionate about it.
Well, I mean, also like when both of us started, there was hardly anyone in this space.
Yeah.
Really, like there wasn't. I would say, hey, I got into Bitcoin, and they're like, they just looked at me like I wasn't talking some weird alien freaking language, and I just shut up for several years. I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna know. Yeah. Nobody's gonna ever know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
And then, wow, this is crazy. Everybody knows now. Anyways.
So anyway, getting back to these scammers, if you have ever encountered a scammer yourself and you don't know how to report it or what to do to help prevent other people from making that decision, you can go to scam-alert.io. Link, again, is down in the video description. Here is the scam report that you can fill out, and additionally, you can scroll down and see like the latest transactions for scams. So these public addresses that they're giving out, you can flag it. You can see the top scammers of like how much, $56,000. Investors reported Amifex as a Ponzi and have been unable to withdraw their funds for several weeks. So they give you warnings of like, you know, if it's a new exchange or something and they can't get their funds out. If you're new to this space, this is a great tool to have because you're going to be encountering a lot of scammers probably, especially if you don't know any better and you're just trying to reach out and they contact you however they get that. You can just run it by here and maybe even search out addresses and see if they have this address check. Not sure if the address you are about to send money to is safe or if the website you visited is real or a scam. Use our free check to see if the payment address or website has been reported.
That's really cool.
So yeah, definitely want to make sure you guys bookmark this.
Existed.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
Really cool.
It's a cool tool, so it's good to see that. Speaking of scams, TikTok is a video posting thing for the people who are obviously younger than me because I haven't used this one. But it's a popular video sharing kind of thing for funny videos. And apparently, for those who are using this, use your phone for it, obviously. TikTok will constantly be requesting this information from your what is it called?
iPhone?
No, like when you copy and paste something.
Oh, from your clipboard.
Clipboard, yeah. So if you ever copy and paste anything using your phone, that could be a lot of many things. TikTok is going to be able to see it.
Well, we have always advocated that you guys don't use web or mobile phones to open up your wallets.
For anything to do with your cryptocurrencies. And this is a perfect reason. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, how come your phone isn't secure? If you have never downloaded an application on your phone, it's probably far more secure than it would be. But the truth of the matter is a lot of people who have a smartphone have a vast number of applications on their phone. And each of these applications has their own user agreement, privacy policy, and very few people read those in their entirety. And if they did, and if they cared about it, they might not decide to go ahead and download it. So that's why I never ever advocate using mobile wallets for cryptocurrencies or really using your phone to interact with your cryptocurrencies at all, just because there's so many ways that your information can be compromised and you don't even know it. For example, TikTok and your clipboard. Who would guess that would be a thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, also, I know a lot of people that actually have their Blockfolio on their phones, so it tells.
Yeah.
It tells
tracking your cryptocurrencies.
Tells people how much crypto you got.
Exactly.
And oh, that's a honeypot right there. Oh, I'm gonna go for this guy. And so they figure out where you live, all that other stuff, and go ahead and hack you. I mean, it's not going to be that hard. If you're downloading your Blockfolio on your phone, you're probably easily hackable. Mm-hmm. So.
Sorry, I'm just going through here. Okay. Yeah. So now you should know if you guys use TikTok and don't be copying and pasting your.
I think it's more than just TikTok. I think it's a lot of different programs.
Yeah,
especially some of the games that are free.
Oh my gosh! You pay in advertisements.
Advertisements and other things probably.
Yeah,
so
for
just
sure.
be careful. Read that fine print. If you really like a game, read it.
And if you're not sure where to start for understanding protecting your privacy online, I did a course on that very subject on my Patreon. That's available for the CT Club members of my Patreon account. You can just go to patreon.com/cryptotips. And you'll have access to all of the classes I've done in the past. You can just browse through the postings and you'll find the links. They're pretty clearly marked, link for this class is here.
And it gives our portfolio, which we
and
did
trade
trade alert last week, and that did
well.
Great. Yeah.
Cardano. But yeah, so I've done classes on wallets, on hardware wallets, on privacy online, on staking coins. And next up will be how I research cryptocurrencies that I ultimately choose to invest in. So the date for that is to be determined, but when it is out, it will be available to the CT Club members. All right, so that's all I have for me. Now we're going to move on to Toby's.
Okay, so the reason why we promote, we go through Bitcoin and what's happening in this space is I don't know, you said it perfect.
We talk about the options first of cryptocurrencies, what's happening with cryptocurrencies, and then we talk about the global economy is why you should be interested in cryptocurrencies and other options.
Yeah.
So a lot of people they want to say, oh, well, why don't you talk about the more whys of cryptocurrencies? Number one, I cover that in all my other regular videos. But this is kind of like our more subversive way of doing it, of, you know, presenting the crypto first and then reminding you why crypto exists with the back end of these live streams. So,
yeah. So, for instance, you know, governments can't control Bitcoin. So, but they can control, you know, this. Over 40% of the U.S. has reversed or placed reopenings on hold. So, I mean, you can only imagine what that's going to do. Say, for instance, I know this sounds gruesome, but this is the truth here. Like, imagine, you know, you see a guy that's, you know, a UFC fighter that gets knocked down. You know, it was really tough. And so he's kind of down, laying there. And, you know, after a couple seconds, he kind of gets up and shakes it off a little bit and like, well, that was crazy. Then all of a sudden the guy just takes his hand onto his head and smashes his knee into his face and breaks his nose and busts open all of his teeth. Well, that's pretty much what the government has done to all of these businesses that have to re-shut. I mean, think about it. You're kicking somebody that's already been down. Not
lending a helping hand.
Wow, man, that's really bad. And so I see this. This isn't like people say, oh, the second wave or whatever. You know, like it didn't stop. So there's no like second wave thing. This is just continuation here. And I saw this coming. Heidi and I have talked about this, where we see 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times this is going to happen. So, you know, the businesses that actually survive through this second round of TK or KO, you know, how many are going to survive during the third round and fourth round and fifth round of them having to shut down? So, and another thing is like, okay, so, you know, governments say, well, you have to wear a mask, you know, like, okay, well, I thought they worked. Why are you shutting people down if they work, you know? So like, make up your mind here. Like if they, you know, just tell people to wear a mask. If that's the case. And then you don't need to shut them down, but they're shutting them down and they're making people wear masks a lot of places. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess you
and I mean, at this point, you truly have to be living under a rock to be unaware of the existence of this COVID. You can say it. You can say it.
Great. Gonna get like one view now.
It's always my fault that we're getting shadow banned.
Jeez, Heidi.
No, but so like at that point, everyone is aware, and so you should, I believe, have the right to decide for yourself if you will be a Patreon for businesses or if you will be, you know, huddled up in home. And a lot of people are choosing that anyway. So I think just overall taking that option out of the table is really detrimental for everyone, really. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. Zero hedge. All right. 80% of New York City restaurants couldn't afford June rent. And now the ones that could, you know, some of them will be probably forced to close down later. I think that was in Arizona. That was in California, the last one. There was several different states that required mandatory shutdown, re-shutting down.
Again, wasn't Texas a bad one?
I think.
I don't know if
I don't know.
Did the shutdown or whatever.
So I can't keep up. I literally can't keep up with all the different governments that are shutting down different businesses. That's impossible. Like there's so many places that are doing this. So, you know, with you know, 80% of businesses that can't, you know, restaurants that can't afford the rent in June, like, I mean,
that's a huge percentage.
You can see
80%.
Yeah, so you can see like what we've been talking about for the last 5 months, or 4 or 5 months, that, you know, this is going to last a lot longer. People say that V-shaped recovery is going to happen. Well, it's going to happen in the stock market maybe, but because of quantitative easing and limited, infinity, but not with people's lives. They can't get back to work and stuff. You know, and one of the results here is going to be a lot of people committing suicide. You know, there's going to be really depressed people, which is really sad because, I mean, once you lose, like, people need to be productive in life. They need to like be able to work and
that's how you
stuff.
Find fulfillment.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
It plays a big part. My
So if
entire leg is asleep.
Yeah.
right
So
now,
if they can't figure that out, then there's going to be a lot of depression and a lot of medication that's going to be handed
Yeah.
out to these guys. So the medical establishment is going to make an extra killing.
Yeah.
Um,
And a lot of zombies again.
yeah, it's just really sad. Okay. Okay, close to half of all working age adults in the U.S. do not have a job right now, and so this is what you're going to have continue, and it's going to skyrocket now with this second round of reclosures. You're going to see universal basic income probably being the standard. I'm not sure when the next stimulus check is going to be. I think it's probably going to. I hear it's going to be announced in August or given out in August. So once people get used to free currency, shoved in their bank account right away, essentially the government's going to own everyone. Because there's not going to be that many jobs left. They've been all killed, the majority, and so you're going to be left with
businesses, not people.
Yeah. So businesses, sorry, and it's going to be really tough. So universal basic income. I almost don't even want to call it stimulus package right now. I want to call it universal basic income. So yeah. Let's call it what it is. Okay, so Airbus, they're smart. They know what is happening, and they're cutting to cut 15,000 jobs as no recovery expected until 2023.
3 years.
Yeah, and they know that's not going to happen
it's
either.
It's just going to be the new normal. It's not really going to be a recovery.
It's going to be delayed and delayed and delayed. So you're just going to see more and more of this. And I'm just pointing this out to show you that this is why we are in this space. We need decentralization from these psychopaths that close down everything, and yeah, that's it. So it's time to really, focus on this space, because we don't know what government is going to do in the future. We don't know what their plans are. Well, we kind of know what their plans are, but as far as the day-to-day things that they are implementing. But we do know that we can control our wealth now, which is really cool. And that's pretty much what I have to say.
Yeah. So that's why for crypto, because of all this mess, central planning has not panned out very well for those who have been subjected to it.
Yeah, this guy, Ceramic. I never lost my job, but I'll be happy with more stimulus checks.
Exactly.
You know where to put them.
Yeah.
Yeah, universal, get your chip income. Yeah, that's next.
Hey, Christoph, glad you caught us.
Yeah.
From Australia.
G'day.
we love that accent.
Yeah. So. Cool.
Nice. So that about wraps it up for today's live stream. Keeping it cool, 33 minutes, pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
So thank you everyone who is in the live stream. I will be doing a video this week with Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun interview. I can't wait to see
a new
that.
series called The Kappa Tea List. He's sipping some tea, talking about what it's like to be Nomad Capitalist and other major developments and decisions that I have made. And how that's
if you want to see
my life.
More of a personal aspect of Heidi's life,
for sure, yeah.
This is the video to watch.
Talking about second citizenships and
other things.
It's going to be interesting. It'll be the first time I'm really talking that specifically about those things in public, like really, really publicly.
It's coming out of the closet.
Kind of, not sexuality wise, but yeah. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be sharing more of it after that interview as well, but keep an eye out for that. I'll be linking to it as well. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you everyone who participated. Thank you everyone who left amazing tips using that super chat option. You guys are great. We really appreciate that. In the meantime, we'll be coming to you again very soon, but until then, I hope you're staying happy and
see you later, mate.
Healthy. You're supposed to say healthy?
Oh, yeah, healthy.